today's video, I am going to be breaking down a couple of different baseline inbounds plays that you can use against man-to-man defenses. I find man-to-man is one of the easiest defenses to score against on baseline inbounds, so let's get down and let's check these out. However, if you want a very hard defense to be able to run to score against on the baseline inbounds, check out my Unbeatable defense book that is down in the description below, because that will trap the corners, it will double the low posts, and what that does is it doesn't leave anyone in single coverage either. So this will completely shut down baseline inbounds almost completely. So definitely go check out the Unbeatable basketball defense book. However, first play, what we are going to be having is our center in the opposite side low or high post. Then we are going to have our second biggest player on the bottom of this stack of two players, and we are going to have a guard here and a guard here. There is a reason for this. We need player 1 to be our shooter. We need player 5 to be our biggest guy because we're hoping for a switch. And if there is a switch here with the screen that happens, then it potentially could be player 4's man, and it will be an advantage for us. So this is why we are setting it up like this. So first, player 1 is going to set this back screen for player 5. Player 5 is going to dive, and if he's open or has the mismatch, he can get that layup. The secondary option is going to be player 1. He is going to be going between players 2 and 4, and they are going to close like an elevator screen. And with that, we are hopefully going to allow player 1 to be wide open for that 3-point shot. If he receives that pass, there's one of two things that can happen. We are going to have player 4 using player 2 as a screen. Player 1 is going to pass that ball to player 4 if player 1 doesn't shoot the 3. And then player 3 is going to use player 5 as a screen. And player 4 is then going to pass the ball over to player 3 as our last option for that 3-point shot on this side. Now, if you coach a younger team, you may not want that secondary option, but it is there if you coach an advanced team or if you just want to run something different halfway through the season and still have the same play, but just add things to it. Our second play that I'm going to show you is going to be a cross screen by player 1. Player 5 is going to use that screen, but at the exact same time, player 4 is going to be setting a screen, and player 2 is going to be using that same screen. This gives player 3 the option to pass to either player 2 or to player 5. There could potentially be mismatches on these two players if the defense decides to switch. If player 5 gets that ball, it's going to be a quick floater. If player 2 gets the ball, now we are going to be looking to have player 5 and 4 set up a staggered screen, potentially for player 3. Player 3 is going to then receive that ball, and he can set up the offense, or he can take the 3-point shot. Player 2 also has the option for the 3-point shot, and player 5 has the option for a floater as well, or just a post-up move. Now, don't ask me why this one worked so well. So, a little quick story about this next play. I ran this with a junior high school team a few years ago. I drew it up, just randomly ran it. This is a team that doesn't have any rep players, and we ran this play flawlessly. I had a center who was extremely skilled and quite a bit tall. He was about 6'5", and he had point guard skills, he had center skills, he had it all. And so what I wanted to do was just get a quick basket. We needed a basket near the end of the quarter. There was, I think, 8 seconds left. We just needed a basket. The other team didn't have their center in, so I ran this play. So it's simple enough to run with a team without rep or AAU players, you would call them in the States. And this is how I drew it up at the timeout. You can cut towards your right side or your left side, you decide. If player 5 decides to take the right side, these two players are going to close, and player 1 is going to then sprint out. This is going to give the inbounder 2 options to pass to. He also has the option to go between 1 and 4. Again, they're going to close like an elevator screen. Player 2 is going to pop out for the 3-point shot, and this would obviously be a layup or a floater. So player 3 has the option to pass to either one of these two players. Well, I can't remember which way he decided. I think he decided this way and this guy popped out. But either way, we had the mismatch. They were actually running man-to-man man-to-man defense along the baseline with player 5 guarding 5 on this side of the line, which to me is silly. If I was the other team, I'd be screaming and yelling and saying, 5 defends down here, I don't care about a 3. Stick player 4's man at the back. Player 4 then guards 5, 5 then guards 4. That's what I would do. Just as a fail-safe, just in case nobody guards behind the line. We have 1, 4, and 2. Let's say nobody is guarding behind the line. Well, then he could just step out, long pass, 3. This would be a fail-safe. I would have 4 on this side, 5 on this side. That way, if he goes through, 5 guards him. If he doesn't go through, 4 guards him. At least there's not much of a mismatch on either side. However, they didn't do that. He cut, I can't remember which side, but either way, I think it was this side. And we passed him the ball, and he got wide open layup. It was simple, easy. It was a fantastic play. So if you're looking for a good defense to be able to stop every baseline inbounds, make sure to go check out the Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that is down in the description below. Anyways, I'll see you guys again in my next video. Hit that like button and subscribe.